What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. So behind me we have the GMC Yukon Denali and the Lincoln Navigator Reserve. Huge shout out to Randy, Mary, and Lincoln for providing this SUV for today's comparison. Definitely check out their info, that's down in the description. But we're gonna put both of these SUVs head to head. We're gonna go over all the specs and the features and see the differences between both of these luxurious SUVs. So to start off today's comparison, we're gonna take a look at what powers both of these SUVs. Over on the Lincoln Navigator, this runs off of a 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 engine. It pumps out 450 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque. Over on the GMC, you do have a few engine options. This particular model here has the 6.2 liter V8 with 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. Both of these are paired to the 10-speed transmission. However, you can see that on the Lincoln Navigator, it has a lot more horsepower and torque from a smaller engine. Both of these have the full-time four-wheel drive system. However, the GMC has a few more different settings that you can go into, where you can go to just two-wheel drive on this or automatic. On the Lincoln Navigator, you don't have any adjustments for that. And then moving on to the overall curb weight, the GMC is right around 5,500 pounds. It's closer to 5,900 pounds for the Lincoln. Towing is also right around 6,200 pounds for the Lincoln, and it's closer to 8,000 pounds for the GMC. So while the Lincoln does have a larger engine output as far as horsepower and torque numbers go, we do have a larger towing capacity with that V8 engine. And then moving on to the fuel efficiency specs for both of these luxurious SUVs, they both have right around a 24-gallon tank. On the Yukon, you can expect to see around 14 miles per gallon in the city and 19 out on the highway. Over on the Lincoln, you get 16 miles per gallon in the city and 20 on the highway. So they are very, very similar as far as those numbers go. So now as we work our way to the exterior design for both the GMC Yukon and the Lincoln Navigator, looks are going to be subjective, but for luxurious SUVs, I think they both have a really nice design. You can see both of these particular models here have a lot of chrome on the front. You can see on the GMC, we have a much larger grille along with that chrome going around the entire surround. We do have some more trim pieces down by the fog lights as well. You can see another trim piece right in the middle. This has all the LEDs for the headlight and high beams, along with the LED turn signals and DRLs. And you can see really nice lines coming down the hood. This also has a forward-facing camera nicely integrated right in the middle. And then over on the Lincoln, you can see the same thing. The grille is a little bit smaller, finished off in chrome along with that surround. Of course, it's going to be a much different design. You can see more chrome in the lower section. We have fog lights along with that trim piece, all of the parking sensors. This even has a forward-facing camera as well. And then the lines are very similar. So you can see they're both subtle, but they still retain a very similar design in not having too aggressive of a line coming down. So everything flows nicely, especially on the sides there. You can get a good look at that. And then over on the GMC, you can just see the bodywork surrounding the headlights. So both of them have a very identical front end with the headlight design, the fog lights, just in a little bit different of a shape. And then as we work our way to the side profiles now, you can see we have the logo on the front quarter panel on both of them. The Yukon is slightly taller as well. This particular model here has the air ride suspension, and you can see we have very large wheels as part of being the luxurious SUVs that they are. We have Denali spelled out over on the Yukon. You have Navigator. I don't see any Reserve logos on the exterior of this model, but you can see we have body colored mirrors on both of them along with the integrated turn signals. There's a camera on the Yukon. We even have one up underneath on the Lincoln as well. So very similar. You can see the chrome trim running down both sides. It's also surrounding the window trim on the Yukon. You can see a little bit more bodywork separating that cargo glass and some really nice lines that run down the side. Over on the Lincoln, you can see more chrome as well. It's even up on the roof racks, which I forgot to mention on the Yukon. And we have some really nice lines running down the side. Over on the Lincoln though, that line continues all the way underneath the rear glass here, where you can see even more chrome in the middle. We have the backup camera along with all the parking sensors. This does have the wiper blade in the lower section of the glass, and then you can see we only have a side exit exhaust over on that passenger side. If we work our way over to the Yukon now, you can see we have the body colored spoiler. The wiper blade is up underneath instead of down in the lower section of the glass, but you can see more chrome trim. We have it in the lower section, and this even has a quad tip exhaust up underneath the bumper. So as far as the looks go, they're both pretty similar, just depending of course on what you'd like. They both kind of retain that slightly boxy look to them, and honestly they are very, very similar in their dimensions. So it really just depends on which one suits you better. As we move on to the interiors now, we're going to start over with the GMC Yukon. Now this model here has the power running boards. So when you open up the door, that will automatically deploy, making it easier to enter and exit. And of course you can get different colored interiors for both of these SUVs, but this one here has the tannish interior, a lot of brown as well up on the dash. So it has a really nice two-tone design. You can see we have plenty of storage in the middle. There's a little bit on the sides. We have the cup holders, a wireless charging. You have plenty of room in the middle, and you can also slide the entire center console back, giving you a lot more storage. There's also a slide out in the lower section there, so you can hide items down there if you'd like to. So that's just a really nice touch to see. Power operated, of course. You'll see we have the large screen here. Basically, it's like a Google tablet with all the information that you can put on here. We have so many different settings to go through. You can see the gear selector here with all of these buttons, everything to control the AC. We have a digital gauge cluster there, so you can definitely go through a lot of information. I'll have a detailed review of this exact truck down in the description below. So there's a look at the Yukon. As we work our way over to the Lincoln, we have the same thing with the power side steps, except on these ones here, you can see they're more body colored on the outside versus just being black on here, of course. So that's a really nice touch to see. Obviously, that makes it much easier to enter and exit. So starting off in the middle here, we don't have that sliding center console, but look at the amount of storage that's up underneath. Definitely plenty of room, a lot more than in the Yukon, of course. You can see we have the cup holders, a wireless charging pad, just like in the Yukon. You can open up the center where it reveals a lot more storage. We do have a little bit smaller of a screen. I'm gonna go over all this when we take these out on the road so you can see them in use. We have a little bit smaller of a screen. It's more on a pedestal versus being blended in with the dash. You can see for park, neutral, reverse, and drive, it's a very similar layout, and we have all of the climate controls. This has kind of a floating design to it, which is pretty cool to see right in the middle there. And then of course we do have another digital gauge cluster for the Lincoln as well. So honestly, they are very, very similar, just with a little bit different of a design and style. The Lincoln also has the keypad on the exterior. We do not have that on the Yukon. But now let's go ahead and take a look at the rear seats, where you'll see we have captain's chairs for the second row. These seats do move forwards and backwards. They also recline, of course, and incline. In the Yukon, we do get these massive screens behind the back headrest. So you have Hulu, you can go through some other information within the system. These are heated rear seats as well. We have the third climate zone, so you can adjust all of that. There's a good amount of space for the second row. Without having someone in the middle here, definitely gives you a lot more room. And then we might as well talk about the third row. You can see we have 3 seats there. There is a lot of space. I'm 5'10" and I can easily fit back here. The only accommodations that you get, we have a cup holder along with a USB-C on both sides. You can see the air vents up in the headliner there, so you can at least get some AC being controlled right there. And then as we work our way over to the Lincoln, you'll see we have 3 rows or 3 seats for the second row here. So it feels like it's a little bit larger. Of course, you can recline these, incline them, move them forwards and backwards. And in order to do that, we have the bar up underneath, so you can easily slide that and adjust it. Legroom is about the same as it was over on the GMC. So these are very similar in their wheelbase and their length, so you're going to expect that. Right in the middle, we have cup holders. Instead of being right in the middle, you have some auxiliaries and all of the adjustments for the back seats here. Now with this middle seat in the way, you can actually fold this down if you don't have anyone there. And then we have 3 seats in the back as well. It looks like we have some air vents up top. You do have some seat adjustments along with a lot more storage on both sides. You can also see the USBs there. And these adjustments here will actually recline and incline the third row, which is really cool to see. You don't get that over in the Yukon. So it just gives you a little bit more practicality in using those third row if you have some larger people. And now looking at the cargo area behind the third row, you can actually open up the glass or the lift gate on the Lincoln. So just by pushing on that button, we can open this up. It gives you quick access into this area if you need to use it. And then obviously pushing on the other button will open up the entire power lift gate. And you'll see with the third row up, there's a good amount of storage. You could definitely utilize this for any items that you have. You can even fold this up where you'll see you have even more storage space, and some of the Jackson tools are over here, but you can utilize that space as needed. And then over on this driver's side, you can control all of these seats. If I push on the 3, you can see the third row start to fold down. So they are electronic. I'm not going to go all the way down for right now, but then you can go all the way back up. You can see the other one automatically going back down too. So it's really nice that you can do that And then on the second row seating, you can quickly fold those seats down if you need to. Now from here, those are the only adjustments that you can do. So you will have to fold those back up manually, of course. And then in order to fold the rear liftgate down, you can just push on that button and it will automatically close. As we work our way over to the Denali, you can actually open up the rear glass on this as well. The button is over on this side here, where you can see, just like on the Lincoln, you can get access to the back area. And then if we push on this button down below, you can open up the power liftgate. This also has the hands-free option, so you can kick your foot up underneath it. And you'll see we do have some of our items in here right now, but you have probably a very similar amount of space as you do in the Lincoln. However, with this model here, you can actually fold down and up the third row. So this isn't any different than in the Lincoln, being able to do that. And it might not go all the way down because you do have to have those front seats adjusted properly. But on here, you can actually fold down and collapse the second row seating just like on the Lincoln, but you can take it one step further and actually fold that seat all the way up. So if you have people coming in from the side for whatever reason, or you just need more space, you can easily do that. Now you do have to manually put them all the way back down, just like on the Lincoln. So as we start off with the Lincoln Navigator now, you'll see that we have the grab handle along with that running board. It makes it very easy to enter and exit this. You'll see the screens come to life here. We have a lot of information within this center screen that you can go through. You can pull up the navigation, see that in full screen. We have the backup camera. I just want to show that. It's a little bit smaller than in the Yukon, but you have some pretty good graphics that you can still go through. And then we do have a lot of buttons on the steering wheel here. You can go through some of that information within that center screen, like your trip information. You can see your fuel economy, your TPMS. You even have trailering info that you can go through as well. And I haven't been in the Navigator in quite some time, but I know that this is a very, very nice vehicle to drive. It's very smooth. This is a very, very luxurious looking interior. I love all the wood trim. This screen is a little bit larger now that it is on. Visibility is also really easy to see. Obviously we have the window sticker right there, but even over my left shoulder, I can see out of that glass. I can glance over my right shoulder, and the pillar in the back is really not all that bulky. And so we'll give it a little bit of gas here, and we can get up to speed. It's going over these bumps, even the train tracks, very smoothly for the kind of bump that is. But it's very quiet, it's very composed on this interior. I really like how it's riding so far. And it definitely has plenty of power. For this twin turbo V6, we can get up and move. So definitely has plenty of power. You can tow a lot with this. And it's just really nice. I love this floating design for all of these climate controls and the cup holders and all the storage here. With everything that you have below that, definitely gives you quick access to get all of those items that you have down there. And we're gonna do a quick U-turn here if we can. Test out the turning radius for this large SUV. It's actually pretty decent. So we were easily able to make that turn. From what I'm seeing on this digital gauge cluster, it would be nice if there was some information over on that left side. It looks like it's very calm. There's not a whole lot of tech right in that digital gauge cluster. And like I said, this is driving really smooth. We have the heads-up display, so you can see your miles per hour, the outside temperature, your range until empty, as well as the time. Very helpful to see that laid out very well right across the front. So as we work our way to the Denali now, you'll see we have that same running board as I already showed. We don't have a grab handle here, but it is still easy to enter and exit. And then you'll see right off the bat, obviously we have a much different layout for the interior. Very similar buttons for this toggle here. We have the digital gauge cluster. Now on this model here, you have a lot more information that you can go through. There's different screen layouts too, so you can configure what both sides look like, where the speedometer is and where the tach is as well. We can pull up that 360 camera system. We do have a larger screen here. We have a lot more different settings that you can go through, even the trailer one. And we also have the heads-up display. Currently it's showing the adaptive cruise along with the miles per hour and the speed limit sign when that is active, of course. And like I mentioned with the suspension, you do have different ride heights. You can go from normal to increased to maximum, and then you have the entry and exit. And then as far as visibility goes, I would say it's roughly the same. I feel like the pillar in the Lincoln is a little bit smaller, especially way in the back there. Both of them do have a speaker on them, which is nice to see, but visibility is roughly the same. We even have the digital screen in the rear view mirror there. So if you'd like to see that versus just the traditional one there, you can just take another look at this interior with all of the controls. It is a very similar layout compared to the Lincoln. We have all of the wood trim. We don't have the massaging seats. All of these buttons are a little bit different. We don't have all the seating adjustments up on the door panel either. And as we give it some gas, we still have a healthy get up and go. Even with this larger engine, they're going to absorb all of those bumps pretty similar, it seems. Now, obviously, I don't have a lot of seat time behind the wheel of the Lincoln, but I have put almost a full tank through this Yukon here, and it's been riding very, very nice with the suspension. Both of these vehicles did that turn identical, a little bit different of a turn, but maneuverability is really great for both of them. I've been turning them around in the parking lot, and you can easily maneuver each of them for the length that they are. So that's gonna wrap it up, going over some of the similarities and the differences between the GMC Yukon Denali and the Lincoln Navigator Reserve. Honestly, these are very, very good competitors. They both offer something slightly different, so it just depends on what you're going for and what options you'd like to have. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Give it a huge thumbs up if you did, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I'll see you guys in the next video.